All right.
I
Mm-hmm.
would love if you
Mm-hmm.
can,
Mm-hmm.
like, if possible, this will pick up most of the stuff. But since we're recording the sessions for our
Oh, right.
Moldova friends,
Yeah.
if possible, it would be awesome.
I could speak into the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you forget for a minute, this should pick it up. It just might be quiet.
Okay.
Um,
I'm happy to speak into a mic.
amazing. And it might not amplify your voice much in here, but it will.
It will. Okay. Perfect. Anything else?
No, I think we're set. Does this look right?
This looks great. So is there a way to do present? Like, no, that's not what it is. It? You know what I mean? So that I could see what's coming up
Oh.
without it going up on the screen.
Yeah, here. And so I think this is the best way to do it.
Uh-huh.
So you'll be able to like click these arrow keys.
Yeah.
And you'll see down here on your screen.
Yeah. That's all I need.
Now
Okay.
the issue with that is when it's time to go to Canvas,
Uh-huh.
it's on a separate screen. So like the mouse
Uh-huh.
goes over.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's too
so
confusing.
can I control it by looking at that screen?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now, what I'm doing is not on here at all.
Right.
But then if I want it back, I just, boom, go all the way to the left, and here's the mouse again.
Okay.
So yeah, that should do it.
Okay.
If you have any weird issues, you can always, the backup, if I'm not here, you can hold Windows here.
Windows.
And P.
And P.
Like projector. And then instead of extend, you could just do duplicate. And that makes it exactly the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Window P.
Yep.
Okay.
But for now.
Okay. This is perfect.
Amazing. Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
You're welcome.
How's the crowd out there? Is it thinning a bit? Yeah? Okay.
Sounds so good right now. I like the vanilla one. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah. But I drink that. I've had enough. I don't like that. I can't drink it. I was really I used to drink so much coffee when I was in school. I was like, dead ass. And then I haven't had it in a while. Not really. Like, I got right back. I don't hate it, but I like it a little cold. I'm more like a chai. I'm a chai girl. Chai.
Nick, would we have everyone from outside?
That's true, except I also thinking about like the commodities.
All right. right. Global cohort, summer 2024. Excellent. Thank you all for being here. You're going to have the time of your life this summer. I know there's quite a few of us here, but I'd still like to take just a few minutes to go around, say your name, where you're going, city and country, to what host office, and even if you're not fully placed and confirmed yet, the discussions that we've been having about what hopefuls we have out there in the world for you. Because unlike local and DC interns that are primarily located in the same place, even in the same house as far as DC goes, you all are going out to the different continents, different countries in the world. A lot of you are going to Melbourne, Australia, but a lot of you are also going to different places. So, and this right now and debrief are the only two times that you're going to see each other. So I'd like you to hear from all the others and see where they're going and where they'll be and what they'll be doing. All right, so how about if we just start here? Sorry, Mutia, I know you just took a bite of pizza. Come on in, come on in. Great. Awesome, thank you. I know we're running, we said 12:30, but I'd rather end early and let you all go instead of giving you the full, break if we don't need it. All right? So we'll start here, and just for the people that came in, we're just going to take the next probably 15 minutes or so to go around, say your name, city, country, where you're going, host office, and Mutiu, let's start with you.
Right, my name is Mutiu Fakwede Olawumi. I'm going to Australia, Melbourne, and I'll be at American Chambers of Institute, right? Chambers of Commerce, I repeat here. So, thank you.
I'm Nicholas, also going to Melbourne, Australia, probably, and I will also be American Chamber of Commerce.
Now, for those of you sitting up front, sorry, but if you could maybe turn around so that, they could see and hear you well.
Nick, going to Melbourne, Australia for the American Chamber of Commerce. Do you agree?
I'm Logan Binger, and I'm also going to American Chamber of Commerce in Melbourne.
I'm Luke. I'm going to Melbourne, Australia at Startup Bootcamp.
And next row.
I'm Olga, and my team and I were going to Europe and we are taking a class there. Online class.
What are you?
We're going to Italy, we're going to Slovenia, and we're going to Greece.
They're a volleyball team going with their coach, and it's part of their volleyball team activity, or yeah. So they're think of them kind of like a faculty-led learning abroad, but it's not learning abroad because they're not going to a university. It's more of, think of it as a volleyball tour, if you'll say, if you will. Okay? Okay, next.
I'm Abby. I'm also going to Melbourne, Australia. I'll be with the committee for Melbourne.
I'm Emma. I'm going to Dublin, Ireland with Common Purpose.
I'm William. I'm going to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and then I'll be interning with the International Organization for Migration.
I'm Jaden Bassett. I'm going to Melbourne, Australia with Startup Bootcamp.
My name is Evan Traubeck. I'm also going to Melbourne, Australia for Startup Bootcamp.
My name's Soleil. I'm also going to Melbourne, Australia for the Parliament House.
My name's Lauren. I'm also going to Melbourne, Australia for Startup Bootcamp.
My name's Kiki. I'm going to London, England, and I'll be with British Parliament.
My name is Lydia. I'm going to Seoul, South Korea, and I haven't been placed in office.
But she will be in a graphic design company.
My name is Ashton. I'm going to Sydney, Australia. So if anyone of the Melbourne folks want to go to Sydney, let me know. But I'll be at United Way.
I'm Olivia. I'm going to Medellin, Colombia. I'm going with Eco Registry.
I'm Jack. I'm going to Melbourne, Australia as well. This is Startup Bootcamp.
I'm Richard as well. I'm on the volleyball team.
I'm Cameron. Volleyball court.
I'm Ashley. We'll also be playing games in Europe, so we're playing against like some international international teams and some professional teams out there too. So we're excited about that.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. I'm Allie. I'm with the volleyball team. I'm Amelia. I'm also going on my
I'm Lavani, and same thing.
I'm Vanessa, volleyball team.
I'm Cameron, also on the volleyball team.
I'm Rianne, also on the volleyball team.
I'm Danielle. I'm going to Amman, Jordan with the Princess Degree Institute.
I'm Austin, I'm going to Melbourne, and I'll be with the Victoria Parliament and the Australian Parliament.
I'm Riker and I'm going to Costa Rica with Monterrey Institute in Monterrey.
I'm Matt, going to Mexico City, working with GEP.
I'm Ford, and I'm going with Matt to Mexico City.
I'm Rowan, I'm going to Melbourne, Louise to work for Excalibur Adventure Park.
I'm Gogia, we going Australia, Melbourne, and next up.
I'm Carly, with Melbourne, Australia, started with Nick.
I'm Senna. I'm going to be also in Melbourne with the Victorian Parliament.
I'm Angela. I'm going to be in Tokyo, Japan, with a translation company called The Company.
Okay, did we get everyone? This is amazing. We have people going to Asia, to Africa, to South America, Europe, to the South Pacific. We have so many different host offices represented here, so many different fields, everything from athletics to business to politics to nonprofits, so many. And all of you have signed up for a signature experience during your University of Utah collegiate career. And I am so privileged, and it's been so fun and such a joy to work with each and every one of you. I hope that came through in my interaction and engagement with you. And I am so looking forward to following you all summer long. So looking forward to reading your weekly updates. All right. And as you know, I'm Jean. If you don't know me by now, there's something wrong in the way that you've come here. And I've been doing this for close to 10 years. And I've been an educator for all of my professional career. I started out in lower ed. I promptly started out in kindergarten. And I told myself when I was a college student learning to be a teacher, I wanted to start in kindergarten and end in the university. And that's exactly what I did. Except for middle school. I skipped junior high. I did 1 year in high school teaching sophomores, and then went on to university, and I've never looked back. It's been an incredible journey and trajectory, and I am really thrilled to work with all of you. All right. Awesome. We did that in less than 10 minutes, guys. I'm optimistic about our time together. Right? So this is what we're going to cover. Major other piece of your credit-bearing experience is the assignment. So with hopefully everyone, if I've met with you one-on-one, except the volleyball team, I've engaged with your coach and the academic director there. But, and I'm sure they told you have assignments and you are all registered in Canvas. And I don't know if all of you are. I just saw that a bunch of you did register. But if you have not yet followed my email instructions to register for the course, you must do so. Nick right now is working on scholarship award letters, and yours will not be sent out if you are not registered for the course. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it here. Think of this as a lab course, right? A biology lab or a chemistry lab, you go in and you might dissect a rat or mix chemicals. You experiment with whatever the field of lab that you're in. This is your professional lab. It's where you go in and experiment and experience professional skills, whether that's in a political office or in a sustainability office or what have you. You're going in and you're experimenting, you're learning, you're doing. You're not listening to lectures. You're not going on another college campus. That's what learning abroad is. You are now in a professional space and you're practicing those skills. And based on those skills, now you have some write-ups. Just like in a biology or a chemistry lab, you have write-ups based on your experiment or your hypothesis or whatever. And for all of that, you get the university credit. And because you're earning university credit, the university wants you to have university dollars, right? So that's why you have to sign up for credit. Even if A lot of you have told me, I don't need these credits. I'm graduating. I don't need these credits. They don't satisfy any of my requirements. You need it for the free money. And tuition is greatly reduced because we know that you're not taking up professor lecture time. You are going to another professional host office. So tuition is $45 per credit for undergraduate students and $60 per credit for your graduate students. And so you're paying, what, $135 or $180 for your tuition. And in exchange, you're getting maybe, if you get a low scholarship, you might get $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. That's not a bad exchange, right? So be sure you register. Nick's sending out those scholarship award letters soon. If you're not registered, you're not getting the scholarship. So, question.
Send that out automatically, just to everyone?
Will Nick? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically, I'm not guaranteeing because I'm not supposed to. This is not a guarantee. Historically, every single Hinckley intern has gotten a scholarship. Every single Hinckley intern, all right? So watch out for that. And sorry, volleyball team, this not for faculty led. Sorry. All right. Let's go on to Canvas assignments, which does apply to, okay, he said it was going to work if I move the cursor over. It's not working. All right. Oh, that's why. All right. Okay. So you're here at orientation. Great, good job. Debrief will happen at the end of your internship, and we'll wait until most, if not all, the students are back. And so you'll just have to wait until the end, because I don't know yet when most of you and all of you will be back here in Salt Lake City. It'll probably be close to fall semester, either right before fall semester starts or right after fall semester starts, because some of you are not coming back to Salt Lake City. Some of you who live out of state might go home to California or wherever, and you'll come back to Salt Lake City in time to start your fall semester. And so that's when we'll have our debrief, which might be, a couple of months out from your actual return. Some of you are leaving next week for your internship, and you'll be back in July, and we might not meet for our debrief until September. So you'll be well adjusted and back to your normal routine. Which is why these weekly updates are so important for your reflections and to help you remember your time there, because I will ask you to share some highlights at the debrief. All right? If you have any questions, please feel free to interrupt, raise your hand. Don't wait until the end. I'm happy to stop and answer your question. All right. All these documents, you're probably wondering why. Why do we have to put all of this down? Well, I'll tell you why. In my role, I have had terrorist attacks happen. I've had illnesses happen. I've had car accidents happen. I've had surgeries happen, like urgent surgeries. I've had pandemic happen. There are, just about every semester, there has been some sort of emergency that requires me to access your information. And if I only have it in one place, and that one place is not accessible, then it puts me in deep trouble. So that's why I have you upload it in your Learning Abroad application, and now I'm having you upload it on Canvas. And I actually have, I do the work of transporting it into my Google Doc so that wherever I am, even if I'm at a national park, if I can just get to a Wi-Fi, I can access it somewhere, somehow, even if I'm offline. That's why I ask you. So I know that, for you, it's, twice on your Learning Abroad application and on Canvas. It's very important. Hopefully, I don't have to access it for you. But in my experience, every semester I've had to access it for somebody. So please do upload it in both places, right? So that's flight, that's all the forms, and the forms are for university purposes. It's you signing off on risk waivers and conduct, agreement, et cetera, et cetera. Insurance information. Most of you, or not most, a lot of you sent me your travel dates. And if you sent me your travel dates, you've already been enrolled in the CISI travel insurance, and you should have received an email. I just uploaded a bunch of dates yesterday and this morning. So there's a good chance that you'll be enrolled in travel insurance this week. If you are not enrolled by this Friday, please send me an email and let me know. Check to see, do I have your travel dates? Because that could be number one reason why you are not enrolled if I don't have your travel dates. And your travel dates are your actual flying dates, going and coming. And that includes your personal travel because we want you to be covered. It's the best travel insurance you're going to have. It's like $10 a week, you guys. And again, it covers everything from expatriation, which is flying you home in case of a true emergency, to, hospital visit for whatever, a sprained ankle, or, I've had students who had kidney infections and had to have surgeries, and they had to be out there for 3 to 4 months beyond their internship time, and their parents had to fly out and be with them. You just never know what can happen. So make sure you are enrolled by this Friday. If you're not, please email me and let me know. Passport, same thing. When the pandemic hit, we had to shuffle around and try to get all the students that were out home, and we worked with our university travel, and they needed your passport information to make reservations, for flights and things like that. And so it was important that we be able to readily access your documents. Safety plan, this is for you. This is when you're out there and your anxiety starts to creep up. Maybe you struggle with some mental health issues. In your sanity, when you are healthy, when you are surrounded by your loved ones and you have the support of family and friends, and you are in the calm, not in the storm, you want to write out, what is it that helps you? Is it yoga? Is it music? Is it Netflix? Is it a book? Is it connecting with a loved one on Facebook? Or is it whatever, XYZ? In your sanity right now, write it out so that when you start to not spiral, that's the wrong word, but when you start to be a little bit weighed down with stress and a heightened level of maybe anxiety or nervousness, you can go back and check, oh yeah, right, I haven't done yoga in 5 days. That could be why I feel so tight. Maybe that's why I'm not eating well or sleeping well. So it's a reminder for yourself, and it's actually really quite remarkable how many interns have come back to me and said, you know what? I followed my safety plan, and I can't believe it did help me. So it's not meant to be busy work. I hate busy work, and I hate assigning busy work to students. Even to kindergarten students, I don't like busy work. But this is to help you in your moments of dips that you will experience because you're human, to know what you can turn to, all right? And statement of understanding, this is also just for the university so that you and I stay on the same page regarding the Canvas assignments and the internship assignments, all right? All these weekly updates, there are 10 of them. Some of your internships are shorter, some of them are longer. If you have a shorter internship, for example, the volleyball team, you're there for 10 days, you will actually, these are not weekly updates, these are daily updates for you. So day 1, day 2, day 3. For the rest of you, these are weekly. After you complete your first full week, I'm not talking you get there Wednesday and you go into the office Thursday, Friday, that's not week 1. The following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's your first full week. That Friday, you come home, or, whatever, Saturday, you submit your weekly one update of what you did, what you learned, some of your aha moments. And it doesn't just have to be about work. It can be about the office culture. It could be about the people you're meeting, about conversations that you've had. Your Canvas assignments are confidential, just like any other university, as you're protected under FERPA. So this is the time when you can be free and express your opinions. You can vent. You can, kind of think through and hash out whatever it is that you might want and need to do. With your supervisor, that's not the right place. With your brand new colleague that you've just met, not the right place. This Canvas right here, your weekly updates, that's the place to do that. And weekly updates are not academic per se. They're not your research paper. I'm not looking for, citations and proper, formatting. Think of it kind of like lengthier email, if you will, or just a way to keep in touch with me to let me know what's going on. Think of it kind of as even a journal entry for yourself, for you to remember this years after you have, completed your internship. All right? And you'll do this every weekend, starting Friday, because that's the end of your work week, except for Jordan. Danielle, where are you? Danielle, your work week goes from Sunday to Thursday. So when you're done Thursday, you'll have until Saturday night to submit your weekly update. All right? And there are 10. If you had an exception because it didn't, schedule-wise didn't work out for you, you have maybe 8 weeks or 9 weeks, you know that your final paper is longer as a result. And so we could talk more about that. If your internship is longer, 11 weeks, 12 weeks, 13, 14, 15, 16 weeks for those of you earning the full 12 credits, well, you won't have space in your weekly updates because we don't have week 11, 12, 13. And so you'll just email me your weekly updates. The syllabus says, do not email your assignments, except your weekly 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. Those you may email me because there's no space on Canvas for those, right? Any questions about weekly updates or anything that we've talked about so far? Yes? Yes. Excellent. Thank you so much for that question, Lydia. Yes. The Canvas system may say, oh, your weekly update is due now. It's a system that I had to work within. So everybody has different updates. Clearly, if you're not starting your internship until June 1, like some of you, you're not going to be able to submit a weekly update starting May, right? So absolutely right. Your weekly updates start when you start your internship, right? So it's due at the first Friday of the first full week of your internship. And also every other assignment in Canvas, I tried in the syllabus to say it's due after the second week of your internship or after the fourth week of your internship. The only final date is the end of the semester, end of the summer, because I have to submit your final grades. All assignments will be due by the end of July, and I have a ton of announcements going out. You've got 3 weeks to submit your final assignments. You have 2 weeks, you have 1 week, you have 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. And so you'll have plenty of announcements. Which leads me to my next comment. If you have your Utah UMail forwarded to your personal email, please make sure that that is working properly, because I've had students come back and say, oh, I wasn't getting these emails. It's on you. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are receiving all the university emails that go to Canvas or via Canvas to you. So please make sure that everything is working properly. Right? Any other questions? That was great. Yep.
Say it's like the end of the week, we're super busy, we didn't have time to write it up. Is it okay if we submit it a few days late?
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, some of you going to Africa and Jordan and some of those other places, your internet could be spotty at times. Again, this is not meant to be the academically rigorous. The internship is the point of this course. So if you're, a couple days late, I'm not going to slam you. I know the syllabus says, you're going to be docked points. We had to do that, but I'm not going to dock you, for points. If you don't write a weekly update for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yeah, then that's a concern, and that's a red flag. Number one, I'm going to be concerned about your welfare, and number two is just what's going on. Not just professionally but personally. Do we need to bring in some services to help you, support you? So, best thing to do is just keep tabs, weekly check in, and even if that means if you have no access to a computer because you went on a trip and you missed the ferry boat and now you're stuck there for another 3 days and you don't have your computer with you, you'll have your phone. Everybody carries their phone with them. Just send me a text. My phone number is on the syllabus. Send me a text. Hey, I'm caught here. I'm not able to submit my weekly assignment, but I'm fine. I'm safe. I'm having fun. I'll get back to you in a few days. Just give me heads up and we'll be good. Communication is key. All right? Thank you. Did I see another hand earlier? Question? No? Okay. Okay, and then there are six-ish, but 4 is just 2 parts. So 5 other assignments that have to do with professional development. The first one is a culture crossing guide, and this should be done within the first 2 weeks of your internship experience. And actually, if you could do it, a lot of these assignments, if you want to do it before you head out so that you don't have to worry about it when you're there, even the final paper, if you are not going until June, I would spend, a few days in May just knocking it out so that you don't have to worry about it. But the culture crossing guide, there's a link. You type in your location, you read up on it, and you write a reflective, paper on it. And by paper, I mean like a page, maybe 2. Again, it's not meant to be academically rigorous. I'm not looking for citations. I'm just looking for your thoughts, your engagement with ideas and concepts that you read about in the locations that you're going. For the volleyball team, that could mean several different locations that you're looking up and maybe a paragraph for each location. Right? Let me see. You could also start the culture crossing guide based on what you read and finish it when you're there after the first week so that you have actual engagement with the culture before you submit the assignment. Budget before is something that you can do before you leave, and it actually should be done before you leave. And this is estimating what your budget is going to be. Somebody asked about budget earlier in the whole group session, which I thought was a great question, because hopefully if this is your first foray into going abroad and going to a different country and actually living there on your own, this will be a great exercise in how to manage your money. And managing money, especially when you're living abroad, isn't just about the bills. It's not just about rent and utilities and ground transportation and eating, but it has to do with entertainment as well. It has to do with pop-up, colleagues and new friends that you've met wanting to go to a footy game or footy game, or out to the pub, or a longer trip to Sydney to see our Ashton there. So you wanna kind of think about what and how you want to spend your free time. Do you want a lot of scattered activities, or do you want to focus on I want to do what Thor did. I want to take these trips, and that's what I want to save my money for. And I don't want to be spending money on a little coffee cafe and pub thingamajigs 2, 3, 4 times a week. I want to focus on work, and then on the weekends, once a month or twice a month, I want to do these international trips. You want to think through, which means you're going to have to do some research, right, on your specific location. London, you can get to a lot of different European countries by train, right? Think through, okay, how much money do I have? How much money do I think I could earn and pay back within 6 months of my return? Like Thor said, you're going to work. And guys, you're the cream of the crop of the university students. You're going to be working for the rest of your lives, and this global internship is only going to make you even more marketable for the market employment force. So it's an investment. What do you not want to miss out on this opportunity of a lifetime? Think about that and budget. So estimate and do this before you go. Budget after, a couple lines down, is what was your actual? You can't do this until your internship is done. So, either save all your receipts and do it all at the end, which I think makes it a little harder, or use this template to put in weekly, as you do your weekly updates, do your accounting and put in how much you spend on all those things, right? Transportation, metro, meals, went to the movies, went to the pub, went to the museum. And again, that's another way to remember your experience. I still have my travel journals from when I traveled in my 20s, young 20s and 30s and onward. And, back then I had hard journals. These days, you guys keep Instagram and all of that. It's all pictures. I've got stubs that are taped into my journal. I've got friends and roommates who wrote in my journal. That's still one of my favorite ways to keep mementos because it just takes me right. I have a mosquito that I caught with a piece of clear tape on my journal from India. And, I have an arrow that says, beep, beep, dengue, words that I can't say. So even the budget before and after, 5 years later or, 10, 15 years later, you'll go back and you go, oh man, I remember this and this. And you'll be able to tell your children. You'll be able to tell your friends and family. And it's really fun, you guys. Right? Budget before, after. I don't know why those, because of the order, right. Internship descriptions and goals. This really needs to happen within the first week of arrival. If you're starting your second week and you do not know what your internship description is, what your goals are, holy mackerel, we're wasting time. Precious, precious short time. So figure out a time to sit down with your internship supervisor within the first day or two, and that might mean scheduling it right now, right? When I arrive, is there a good time that we can sit and talk about what the internship is going to look like, what my goals can be, what you have in mind for me, et cetera, so that the rest of your time there can be productive. For the volleyball team, this could mean personal goals for you, right? And one of the reasons, one of my colleagues asked me, so, is it okay that the volleyball team is here even though they're not actually going on a professional internship? Well, yeah, because you're not going to be athletes the rest of your life, right? You will have some sort of a career, some sort of work experience beyond volleyball, and this is all helpful information. So for you, it could be, and you have a choice, it could be, what are your own personal goals, both as an athlete and maybe beyond your years as an athlete? What do you see for yourself, right? Make it work for you. Again, I am not looking for busy work. I don't want just, typed up stuff that you do on the fly. This is all meant to be reflective and helpful for you so that you really think through and, make your life trajectory work for you. All right. Internship review is simply your review, your evaluation at the end, and there's a link for you, and it's just answering questions or making comments. And it's not something that you have to write up It's just a survey. Any questions about these assignments right here? Okay? All the prompts and all the descriptions are in the assignments. I don't know why I didn't click on that. Right here. So if you click on it, it's all right here. So please read carefully and follow the directions. All right. And again, deadline by the end of the second week of your internship, but really this should be by the end of the first week, right? Earlier the better. Trying to do this with my left hand. All right. Let's see, moving on to, oh, I forgot the last one, resume and interview. Again, this is very easy. Resume is simply updating your resume with your internship experience. And the reason we have you do this is because it happened again this spring semester. A student was offered a job right at their internship. And I've also had interns not necessarily offered the job at their internship, but another office asked them for their resume because they just saw them doing a great job interacting really positively and really well. And so you want to, resume is one of those things. Anytime you have a new task, a new skill that you've learned or gained, or you've helped with an event, you go and write it down. I'm constantly doing that. If I do something new here in the Hinckley office, I go and I update it in my Google Doc. It's not necessarily because I'm looking for a new job. It's because I don't want to forget that I've gained this skill, I've contributed in this way, and it makes your resume, that's how it starts to fill out, and you don't forget what your professional experience has included. So you want to update it, and then the interview is a mock interview write-up. Somebody mentioned on the Hill that they run into senators and can have a quick 20-second or maybe even a 2-minute conversation. That happens, especially here in Utah. And unless you're all planning on not coming back, most of you will most likely come back, and a lot of you might look for jobs right here in the Valley. Right here in the Valley, the Hinckley Institute carries a brand name. People recognize it. A ton of offices have had our local interns. There may be a couple of you who have already interned in our local offices. And when you go for a job interview, having the Hinckley Institute name on the resume, your interviewer might be a Hinckley intern themselves, or a former intern themselves, an alum. And that can strike up a conversation. So the interview mock-up is so that you don't necessarily have to hem and haw, thinking about what you want to say, but it's right there in your pocket that you can talk about literally in an elevator, like the term says, the elevator speech, for 20 seconds or 2 minutes, or a dinner table story. All right? So that's the interview write-up. And here's the academic portion of the course. This is the academic paper. It does call for research. It does call for citations. It does call for proper formatting. It has, all the header, footer, and the parentheses with all of that. Think of it as your academic research paper. This is it. Everything else, reflective, journal, non-academic, this is it right here. All right, you're going to choose a policy of the land. If you're going to Australia, you're going to choose a policy in Australia. If you're going to Jordan, you're going to choose a policy in Jordan. If you're going to Costa Rica, you're going to choose a policy in Costa Rica. Policy of the land that's somewhat related or heavily related to your office work. So if it's politics, that's easy, right? If it's business, something about commerce, a policy around commerce. If it's urban design, something around whatever it is you're helping to design. If it's sustainability, a policy around sustainability. It doesn't have to be, absolutely like, I'm in startups and there's no policy around startups. No, but there might be around business, right? Around commerce. So do that. It could be from a broader perspective. Athletics, it could be about athletics, right? Or because you are going as not only an athletic representative, but also you'll be touring some of these places. Maybe there are policies around tourism, or maybe you're studying something in your major. You can bring that in. Maybe you are, I don't know, Parks and Recreation major or education major or psychology major. What policies do they have around those? Choose a policy, and then you're going to examine it. How is it being implemented? Is it effective? Is it not effective? All the pros and cons. You're going to look at it, cite references, what's being said about it, what's the conversation out there by authors around it. And the other flip side is maybe you're looking for a policy of your interest, and it doesn't seem like they have one. Japan doesn't have a policy around marijuana. I don't know, recreational drugs. Maybe it's time that they had a policy. Well, propose it, and you have to give your rationale. Why should they have this policy? What are the resources necessary? How should it be implemented? What's the outcome the desired outcome that you're shooting for by proposing this policy? Questions? Right? Policy of the land, thank you. Having to do with the work of your internship or something generally related around it. Can be either analysis or proposal. You choose. Can't be both. Don't try to do proposal and analysis at the same time. Most students choose analysis because it's actually easier. It already exists, and all you have to do is state what the pros are, what the cons are, how it's being implemented, what went wrong, what went right, etc. Right? But if you want to propose one, you may. Okay. Questions? The lengths and all of that, it's in the prompt. Please read through carefully, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. But if there are questions that is answered in the prompt, I'm going to say read the prompt. Right? Okay. Evaluation by supervisor, that's your internship site supervisor. Evaluation by program manager, that's myself. And my evaluation of you will mainly be communication. How have you responded to my email communication? Have you responded to me? Have you just, been timely with your assignments? All of that. The evaluation by your supervisor is your actual work evaluation at your internship site. All right, and that's a bulk of your grade as well. Any questions? Nope. All right. I think that is, yes, Lydia.
I guess with the supervisor evaluation, is that something that we take to them?
No. You don't have to worry about it. I'm just letting you know that that's what your grade, it's one of the components of your grade. It's strictly between me and the supervisor. I send them a link, and they fill out a survey that goes into our survey database. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. And so you want to send, one of the assignments in your internship descriptions and goals is to send me the name and email address of your supervisor so that I can get that to them on time. All right. And going back here. All right, so that was Canvas. Again, it starts, the assignments actually, the deadlines start when you start your internship, but a lot of it can be done before you go. The final paper, it has nothing to do with your actual internship work. You can knock that out, this weekend, right in the middle of your finals, right? Why not? Let's just add another one in, all right? But again, if you're not leaving until, week 2, a month later, it's a great time to get it done out of the way so you don't have to worry about it. All right, global risk management. The thing that I want you to walk away with from the global risk management is this. All right, and I'm uploading this PowerPoint into your Canvas, so you don't have to worry about that. But I mean, if you have your phone with you, it's a good time to put the phone number and the information down, or take a picture of that. I'll get out of the way, because if you do need support, and this means anything from injury, you need to call CISI because you've been, hit by a bicycle in Amsterdam, or you got into these are actual incidences that I'm pulling out of my memory. These are not made up. You got into an altercation with a taxi driver because you were inebriated. You had an infection somewhere in your body. You had van with a bomb go off outside of Parliament, which happened several years ago. You were at the Ariana concert in Manchester where a bomb went off, and that had nothing to do with your internship, but you went there. That was one of the excursions, and you were there. Or the pandemic happened. At any time, if there is or just deli belly, you ate something bad, something didn't agree with you, and now things are coming out in ways that they should not be coming out, and you got to get something, see somebody, have them give you something yesterday. This is the number you want to call. This is the person you want to speak with. And he's upstairs on the 3rd floor. He's our global risk manager for the university. His name is Parker. He usually attends orientation, but he had to be off campus today, so he was not able to make it. But that's his phone number. That is his email. If you do need CISI support, you want to make sure to contact him. You want to contact me. You want to contact CISI. Probably CISI first, then me, then Parker, or Parker, then me, so that we can make sure you have all the support that you need. All right? Lydia.
Should we contact you and Parker before we go to visit the doctor?
So that depends. If it's, and only you can be the judge of that. If it's very serious, if it's life-threatening, if you're running 105 fever, if it's critical that you actually get help first, never mind. Get yourself to a doctor, get yourself to a hospital or a facility, urgent care, get yourself taken care of, and then let us know so that we can help you with basically we're helping you with all the logistics afterwards, right? And so, get yourself taken care of. But if it's, I don't know, and let's say earthquake happened and you've had to evacuate your building, okay, evacuate and then let us know. If it's, you sprained your foot or your ankle, you were at a soccer match for fun with your office mates and people outside the office, and you've been limping around for the past day or so, and the swelling's just not going down, the pain is only getting worse, yeah, let us know, and maybe we can help you locate a better facility, that CISI has like a database of clinics and facilities where they can direct you. And so they might be able to say, oh yeah, there's a facility 5 miles away, go to this one. They'll be able to help you in the best way, right? So it depends, if it's not as critical, if you can take the time to get our opinions and get more information, do so. But if it's critical that you get help first, do that, and then we'll help you. Okay? Good question. Any others? All right. So basically, global risk management, Parker, myself, there will be at least 2 weeks, once in May and another time in July when I will be out of cell range. I have an annual national park trip that I do with my college roommates. And so during those times, It's more important that you connect with Parker in case of an emergency. In case of a non-emergent, but you're really curious about, I don't know, something. Nick has been on global internships, and he's very integral to our office. He's very well familiar with the global program, and he's able to answer a lot or most of the questions. Okay? And I've put all that in the announcements as well when I'm going to be out. Any other questions? Okay. Culture shock. All right. It's very normal, right? I want you to remember this. I cannot express, I say this at every orientation and every semester. It's like students forget once you walk out that door, and once you get on that airplane, and once you land in that country, and you step out and you have all that excitement, and you check in, and you don't have internet, and you're hungry and you're thirsty, you're dehydrated from a long trip, and you don't know anyone, and you just realize that you missed your dog or your cat, and oh my God, you're missing your favorite, whatever, XYZ at home, and all of a sudden your anxiety starts to rise, and you might wonder to yourself, what did I do? Does anybody else watch Alone by any chance on the History Channel? Okay. There have been Alone, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like Survivor, where people get dropped off in the middle of wilderness, and it's not like Survivor in that they vote each other off. It's just last man standing wins, right? Because they're all alone, like the title, and they have to survive a harsh wilderness with nothing but their own skills and 10 equipment, including sleeping bag, and outlast everybody else. There have been contestants that, they get dropped off, and like 2 hours later, I'm tapping out. I'm out. I'm done. I don't know what I did. I bit off more than I could chew. And there have been contestants that last like 100 days, like 3 months it's crazy. I highly recommend it. I'm addicted to it. But culture shock is when you can really, get into this headspace of, crap, what did I do? And start to second guess yourself, start to regret your decisions, start to, really just look at everything in a dark light, really negative. Nothing tastes right. Nothing feels right. Fear starts to creep in, and all you're thinking about is home. All you're thinking about is your comfortable bed, and all you're thinking about is your familiar routine in your home. That's culture shock. It's normal. It's normal. Tell yourself, you know what? This is what I came for. To push myself beyond my comfort zone, to experience something new, to get to experience a different part of the world, to experience different people, different culture. This is what it means to learn. Just like it hurts when a baby is born, right? It has to squeeze through, and it's a painful and traumatic experience. And I'm not advocating trauma, but I'm saying that's what it means to have an experience that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. You get uncomfortable. There is discomfort. There is a raised level of, sweat and anxiety and nervousness, and maybe just a, touch of fear, right? That's where the safety plan comes in. All right, okay, what helps me? Right, let me try these things and see if they help. Let me, connect with my friends, spend a Zoom call with mom, dad, best friend. Let me take out, my photos of my dog, cat, whatever. Try your plan that you told yourself in your calm sanity right now before you actually hit the storm, what actually helps. Go through those steps and see if they help. And if they don't, reach out, and let's see if talking through will help, at another level, okay? But you're going to feel like this fish that's out of water, and you're taking gulps of air, and nothing feels right because you're a fish out of water. You hit the honeymoon stage, all is great, and then you hit your distress stage, everything feels bad, and then you hit your adjustment stage. Things start to plateau. You start having a routine. You have your favorite cafes. You have your favorite places that you want to go to, a park. You join a gym. I've had interns that joined a gym like as soon as they arrived because they knew that was part of their safety plan. I need a gym membership. And so that's what they did. They went on a running path and decided, okay, this area right here, this neighborhood is where it's going to be my gig, right? Find your routine. And then you adapt and you start feeling like a local. You start feeling like, oh my gosh, I think I could live here. Maybe I should look for a job, or maybe I should look for a graduate program because I could seriously see myself here for the next year or two or more. And you start to feel like a local. And people start maybe looking at you like, yeah, you believe, they're not treating you like you're the brand new person. You start maybe being recognized. You go to a cafe and they go, hey, you want your usual? And that feels really good. Visually, this is what it kind of looks like. That plateau adaptation, the longer you can make it, the better your internship experience will be. The key to hitting that adaptation is your entry, is your landing into your place. So here's a couple of tips. Your first 48 hours, key, your first 48. The way you can minimize impact upon landing is make sure you have some food, make sure you have water, because dehydration, that'll throw you off. That'll make you crazy, right? Make sure you're hydrated and you're fed, especially within that first 24 hours when you have jet lag and you're waking up at 3 a.m. and you're thirsty, you're hungry, it's dark, there's nothing out there. It messes with your mind. So even if I do personal travel, guys, I will pack peanut butter and jelly sandwich because, let's face it, when is peanut butter and jelly sandwich not good? And it travels really well. It's good even if it's soggy, right? Peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a Ziploc bag, and water, because at 3 a.m., if you wake up in your accommodations and there's nothing to eat and you're starving, you're hungry, you're thirsty, especially if you're in Jordan, you don't know if you can trust the water. You don't know if you can, go out and grab something to eat because it's not a, city that is not sleeping. It is a city that sleeps. Having something that you can just pull out from your suitcase and satiate makes a world of a difference, because even a brand new world, a foreign world in daylight is a lot easier to engage with than at night at 3 a.m. when you're hungry and you're thirsty and you start second guessing, oh my God, I really miss my bed. I really, and you start having these mental, mess ups, right? So for your first night there, make sure you have food, make sure you have water, and make sure you have something, something that helps you feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm a germaphobe. I like to travel with my own pillowcase because when my face hits a pillow at night, I like to smell my own pillowcase, the bounce, fresh scent, and know that, I laundered it and it's just a little bit of home that I could stuff into my purse, right? It takes no room at all in my suitcase, but when I go to rest, it actually does help me rest better because I have my own pillowcase. Pictures, easy. It's on your phone now, right? Bag of Doritos, right? Whatever the snack of your choice, sour fish, whatever it is, I encourage you, take at least one thing that, and if it's not food, if it's something else, I travel with my yoga block, even though it is, on the bulkier side, but I know that that's what helps me to keep my sanity. So think through, in your sanity, in your calm, What will help you through the storm? What will help you to survive better and make your experience brighter? Think it through, and that will make your landing for the first 24, 48 hours softer, which will increase that adaptation plateau where you feel like a local, happen a lot earlier, and last longer. All right? Any questions on the culture shock? Comments? Experiences that you've already had by traveling? Yes.
Yeah, I found myself here before and some of it before. The culture shock is like so weird, like exactly how you described it. Like the first few days, it feels like the whole time I had like a pit in my stomach. I was like, why did I do this? I want to go back home. But then, yeah, once you like understand like the area and kind of like get familiar with things, it gets so much easier. So you just kind
Right.
of have to like push through
Yeah.
the first few days and get adjusted to the time.
Yeah, jet lag is a witch. It's, it really does mess with you literally from head to toe. So just give yourself time. And if you can, again, in the sanity of the calm, think of ways that you can mitigate those, peaks, the better your experience will be. But also, those peaks and valleys, if we look at, the heart monitors, that means life, right? You don't want continuous plateau because that flatlining means death. This is what a global internship is about, to push you into those discomfort zones. So the peaks and valleys, that's your heart beating, right? It's that pit. Experience life, right? Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. Some ways to help you deal with your culture shock. Ultimately, it's because it's different for everybody, but some of these are some commonalities that people have shared. Again, know that loneliness, anxiety, sadness, those are all human emotions, guys. There's nothing wrong with any of those. What gets to be a concern is when they impede your function, your daily function, right? If you're so sad you can't get out of bed, that you're not able to go to work for, days on end, that's when it's not normal. But feeling sad, having a cry, feeling lonely, feeling nervous, feeling anxiety, you're experiencing humanity. So, really, this is why the reflections are so important. Really think through, process, sound out what it is you are experiencing and how you can address it. Be patient, not only with others, but yourself, first and foremost. Make friends. And that too, some of you might be really shy, maybe introverted. Maybe you've always thought, I don't really need a lot of friends. I don't need a lot of, people engagement. Well, global internship, it's a big part of it is about learning the new culture and the people. So make it a learning experience, even if you are an introvert, to at least make one or two, friendly encounters, right? This is where I was talking about bring a few touches of home, whatever that may be for you. Keep in touch with people at home. Whatever you do, don't withdraw. And I don't mean don't take breaks. Yeah, take breaks. You might want to go on a solo trip. A lot of students have taken their global internship experiences as the opportunity to do a solo trip. I mean, some of you, your entire internship is your solo trip, right? But even within that, you might want to take a little excursion out. If you go all the way down to Melbourne, Australia, and you don't go out to other places, I don't know. I might have to ding you a grade. All right? And whatever you do, please take care. Take care of yourself. Watch out. I hate to say this, women, but I'm going to speak to the women right now, and I'll speak to the men afterwards. But the world, especially in some of the places that you're going to, have different standards for women. It exists here in the United States, even though we may have conversations and we try to make equitable as much as possible. In some parts of the world, those conversations are either way behind or not even happening at all. And I have had assaults happen. I have had close encounters happen. I myself have experienced scary situations in my travels. So for you women, if you're not traveling in a big group, or even if you are, there may be times when you're, going out by yourself, and it doesn't even have to be far or for long. It could just be a little, jaunt down to the pub, or, even from your home to the metro station, or waiting for a bus. At any time, it could happen. Be mindful. Try to, if you are traveling, try to travel in buddies, in pairs. One key rule that I operate by is I look out, and if I see young children or young women out and about and happy and not necessarily in groups and in pairs, it's a good indicator that it's okay for me to be out. If I start to see that dwindle down, if I start seeing children go in their homes, women start going off, into their homes, or I'm only now seeing women traveling together as families, or not necessarily on their own, then I know, okay, I need to get myself indoors somewhere. So just be mindful of your surroundings, and whatever it means to be smart, be more aware. For you gentlemen, this is a world that we all live in together, and the more you can help make it a safer place for everybody, the better our world will be. And so, especially for you Melbourne interns, you're there with a whole cohort of fellow interns, both male and female. Look out for each other. Be mindful of one another, right? Okay. Here are all the support services and resources available. Your tuition, your student fees covers this. It covers me, it covers Parker, it covers counseling services. You have a ton of services that are available to you. So one thing that you should not let inside your brain is, I am alone in this experience. You're not. You are not alone. Even if you have, no family to fall back on, even if you have been, an introvert and you don't have necessarily a thriving community of friends around you, I certainly helped you in this process of getting to this point and going abroad. And you have enrolled in this huge public institution, and you pay money to this institution to not only provide and facilitate learning for you and equip you for life beyond the university, but while you're here, we're set up to support you in every way possible, right? So keep us in mind, keep that in mind. And you don't have to memorize, or you don't have to, this slide is just to let you know you've got resources. If and should you need it, I will work with you to access all the resources, all right? This is just to let you know you are not alone. So if there's any mantra that I want you to repeat to yourself during your internship experiences, I'm not alone in this. I can talk to Jean, and together we'll work it out. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Title IX, we went through. Oh, so actually I do want to make a comment about Title IX, because Title IX is an American title, or American law. It does not exist worldwide. So, discrimination, it exists. Jordan, they absolutely have different laws for men and women. Yeah, and you're not going to change it in the 10 weeks that you're there. So, be mindful of your land, and we're the guests there. Got to be mindful of that, right? So, Title IX, yes, it does exist here, but unfortunately not unfortunately, because it's a great thing that you're going out into the world, but unlike local and DC interns, a lot of or most of the host offices that you're going into won't abide by Title IX. But again, the resources that we can provide you with here on our end are all still available to you. So keep that in mind. Okay? Right, some basic safety tips. I will say that most of the non-accidental incidences that have occurred have been because of inebriation, drunkenness, or some sort of substance abuse. Altercations, to the point of like bloody pulp, happened because they were drunk. Other stuff, poor choices, happened because they were not of their full facility when they engaged in certain choices and decisions. That's not to say that there's a ban or a restriction on going to pubs and partaking of alcohol or whatever. You all are adults. And as a matter of fact, some of your host offices, it's their common practice to treat you to a drink after work, or even have drinks for lunch in the office. So there's certainly no ban on it, but there's a smart way to do that and a stupid way to do that. Please be smart, all right? All of you literally are the cream of the crop. You're the best students the university has, or else Hinckley Institute would not have accepted you for this program. Be smart about those choices as well, and don't get yourself kicked out, because students just about every semester get kicked out of the program, and it's never because choices that they made in the sanity of their sound mind. It's because they made stupid choices while they were drunk or high, right? Know the areas to avoid. Again, this has to do with maybe housing or places you want to visit. In some places, even if you're not living there, for instance, Thor said that he took trips to Vietnam and Cambodia. You want to make sure what are the laws of the land over there. Places you want to visit, temples, you have to have shoulder coverings. You can't wear shorts. You can't wear sandals. You have to wear a hat. So forth. You want to make sure that you are appropriate and not, the ugly American tourists that people shake their heads at, right? Please don't be that person. Be the person that looks like this isn't your first time out. It's, you're a seasoned traveler, even if you're not. Okay, inform your emergency contact. If you are going to be out, traveling beyond your university area, please let me know. Weekly updates is a great place to do this. If you know that you're going to be traveling with your roommate or, whatever, even if it's a business trip. Hey, my office is taking me to Barcelona. I'm going there for the next 3 days, or we're taking a trip to New Zealand. We're going to be there for 5 days. Let us know. Why? Again, because if we need to extract you for whatever reason. One time I had to extract a student because stuff was going around here with their family, and their family needed their family member back, the student back home. And for about 24 hours, we didn't know where the student was because he had gone on a trip with his roommate. And so it really escalated things here unnecessarily. So if you know you're going to travel, please let me know so that we know how to reach you. Okay? Carry passport with you when you travel out of the area, obviously. Carry phone numbers, especially emergency, bank, credit card. And I actually keep a hard copy. And by hard copy, I don't mean paper. I keep a separate copy, separate copy, like on a Google document, because your phone, you could lose it, right? But if you duck into a internet cafe or somewhere where they have computers with internet access, you can get on your Google document and be able to make phone calls, be able to call your bank, cancel your credit card, what have you. Don't rely on just your phone for all the information and data that you need to access. You want it so that all you need is a computer and internet, and you can make all the calls that you need in case, you know, petty theft. It happens. Right? And lastly, on this slide anyway, know the dangers of HIV and AIDS. Some global interns have met the love of their lives. I actually had a student that went to Poland last year, and now he's getting married this summer to the person that he met out in Poland. Practice of dating and sex and relationships, it's not universal. It's different. And so it's on you to know what works for you, what is healthy for you, and what you want to bring to the relationship, you know, whatever the length may be in that interaction. All right? Basic culture tips, your dress, your hand gestures, greeting in personal space. Again, look it up in your culture crossing guide to make sure. Like, this is a curse gesture in some parts of the world. This is a curse gesture in some parts of the world. And, you know, the middle finger is a curse gesture in this part of the world, right? But this and this has the same connotation in some parts of the world. So know what they are. And even your facial expressions, right? Eye contact, you know, it's considered hostile in Asia and in some parts of the world. You know, tilting of the chin could be rude in some parts of the world. It means yes in other parts of the world. So look it up. It's, you know, human behavior is not universal. It's different for culture to culture. So look up yours. All right. And we're winding down. I'm going to have you out here 30 minutes before I said we're going to go. Remember to complete your forms in Canvas. Do that this week, next week at the latest. Immunizations, if needed. Did you need immunizations for Jordan? No. I don't think I have anybody here that's going. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. So it's different for location, so it's on you to make sure that you're immunized. Make sure you register for credit, okay? If you're not accessing Canvas, you're not getting a scholarship. Important. Check for local holidays and office closures so that you can plan your travels. Check in and out. If there's anybody here checking into an Airbnb for your first couple of nights until you can get into your more permanent accommodations, make sure whatever time you land, you can check in. I had a student who landed on a Sunday once in Germany, and the accommodations that he wanted to check into was closed, and Monday was a holiday, and he walked around with his suitcase looking for accommodation. This was before Airbnbs. This was early on. And he finally found a hostel because he couldn't afford, college student. He could not afford a Marriott or some schwanky hotel. He asked around and went into a youth hostel for like $15 a night until Tuesday when his accommodations opened. So check for your, check-in time. Make sure that you're able to check in and your checkout days, right? Outlet converters, make sure that you have just a thing that attaches to your plug. Yeah, because they're not universal, right? And they're cheap. You could get them on Amazon. Any questions so far on these? Okay. Packing, I go with a 50% rule. I guarantee you will have things to bring home after 10 weeks abroad. You're going to have things that you accumulate by living there. You're going to want to bring things home for not only yourself, but your family and friends. Take only 50% of your suitcase. less if you can help it. Follow us on social media, hashtag Hinckley Institute, and tag us on social media, right? If you have not done so already, enroll your trip with the State Department. I know that Alert Travel app says it's not updating on your Learning Abroad application. It still might say incomplete. We're working on that. Don't worry about it. Ignore that. Just make sure that you are enrolled. When you arrive, go ahead and check in with the internship host office by sending an email. Let's say to AmCham, "Hi Andrew, I arrived last night. I've checked into my accommodations. Looking forward to seeing you Monday morning or Tuesday morning, whatever." All right, and copy me so that I know that that has happened. Okay? And again, postcards. You can buy a stack here at Utah to leave as a thank you note to your host offices. And flip side, please send me a postcard from your location and a postcard to your scholarship donor. Again, as I said, historically, every Hinckley intern has received a scholarship, and we'd like for you to express that gratitude to our scholarship donors by sending them a postcard from wherever you are. It's more fun because they get thank you cards from all the interns, but only the global students get to send them cool postcards, right? Yes? What is enrollment? Yeah. So it's with the State Department. It's a Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. But I understand on the Learning Abroad app, it says Alert Travel. It might be the same thing.
Yeah, it says Alert Travel on it.
Yeah, right. So as long as and is Alert Travel with the State Department?
I don't know. I just got the download of the app.
Okay.
I think so, though.
No. If Alert Travel app is not with the State Department, I recommend the State Department. It's STEP. If you Google State Department STEP, it should pop up. And you definitely want to enroll with this because the State Department is the first department that will have intel on what's going on in the land and if they need to extract U.S. travelers, U.S. citizens. And they will reach out to you if anything happens. Okay? We talked about social media, contest, $200. And finally, the 3 Ps, be prompt, be present, be proactive. That's really it. Okay? Take cues, earn the good stuff, leave a lasting good impression. Right? And this is my information. There's my cell phone number. Please use the cell phone number sparingly. You can text me at any time. I sleep with my phone on silent. But if it is a true emergency, please call until you get through. I think on the 4th ring from the same number, it will ring even though it's on silent. So if it's a true, like I'm bleeding out, then call me after you call 911 and, get yourself help. But if there's been an earthquake and your building has collapsed, call me until I answer, even if it's my middle of the night. Otherwise, email. Okay, email is your first step. And if it's a little bit more urgent than that, send me a text. And if it's life-threatening or true emergency, phone call until you get through. All right? Any questions? At all? All right. You all know how to reach me. Volleyball team, thank you for representing the U. Go Utes. Hope you win every game you play. And the rest of you, go Utes. Make a good, lasting impression on all the host offices. I work with all of them, so please be good. All right. Have a great rest of the day. 30 minutes early. Yeah, thank you. Hi.
So with the security clearance, I did the first one, and then I think the Parliament realized I was like a student, so they sent me a follow-up one. I did that, and I just think it's okay?
When did you send it?
I think I did the second submission early last week.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I just like.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we have not determined a start date yet, right? Or have we?
May 15th.
May 15th. Okay.
Is when I get there the day before.
So what you might want to ask Thomas, and copy me, is do I wait for security clearance to start, or is it possible to start and then get security clearance?
Okay.
Okay.
And if for some reason there's a delay, I'm fine to adjust for a few days. So, but thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Lydia. Thanks for all your good questions.
I your talk about the culture shock was like perfect.
Yeah.
It's like exactly what I expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
usually textbook with
Yeah.
most people. Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm that since I'm not placed yet, so I shouldn't register for this course.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, I should?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought in the email.
Oh, did I say wait until you're placed, right?
Yeah.
Actually wait until you're placed.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's
Yeah.
okay. And then with like the application, some of that I was like I did some of it, but I don't know. Should I do all?
Oh,
of it?
you should.
Okay.
Yeah, the learning abroad application. Yeah, you should finish
Even
that.
before I'm placed. Okay. All right. I'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask how talking to Andrew after we all got to answer maybe.
Yeah, he's really optimistic that you're gonna have a placement. Either he thinks probably not Melbourne because they just don't have the physical space for it, even though he really likes you. But he thinks that he can get you placed in one of their offices. Do you have a preference for Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth?
Not really. I don't know much about Australia.
Okay. For me personally, I think I would rather have you go to Brisbane, number one, only because it's all on the same coast. You'll be on the same timeline. And it'll be easier to visit Sydney and Melbourne if you so choose to do so. Next would be Adelaide, which is going a little bit west. Again, easy access to Melbourne and Sydney. A little bit far to visit Brisbane, but you won't have occasion to visit Brisbane. It's easy access to Melbourne. The last choice would be Perth, just because it's clear over on the other side of the continent, on the west side. Which, I mean, if it came down to it, it's wouldn't be terrible. It just you would have access to the Asian countries for visits if you wanted to. It wouldn't be as easy access to Melbourne if you wanted to take a trip to see maybe your pals. And so I'm asking Andrew if you could be placed either in Brisbane or Adelaide. With you? Okay. And I am still checking in with Mike Hearns from New Zealand because he said he was either going to check with his team or with his member organizations. Okay. So I have two possibilities, but Andrew was he was really optimistic. He said, no worries, we're going to get him placed. So plan on going. And we just need to know where.
Yep, I'll just wait a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi.
Am I good to sign up for the class now?
Yes.
Just go ahead and sign up.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay, I'll
Oh,
go
no,
ahead and do it right
you're
away.
fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Did I send you the instructions?
Yeah, I think.
Did
I think you did. I need to read the email, but I know the first step was like the application process.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned something about signing up. But
Okay.
if you hadn't, I'll send you another email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have your host office confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I
Did you
accepted
send it
an
to me?
offer. Oh, I'll send it to you after this. I
Okay.
totally forgot to, but I will.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi.
Is there, how do I get in contact with Gazelle because she hasn't responded. I sent her my flight information. Is she picking me up, or is she organizing something to pick me up? from
She
the airport?
is. Did you send it to her on WhatsApp?
On WhatsApp.
Oh, you did? You know
I
what?
don't have her yet.
Okay, yeah, because she responds better on WhatsApp, believe it or not, than on email.
Yeah.
Am I copied on the WhatsApp that you sent?
Yeah, it was in the group chat.
It
I
was
sent
in
her
the
my
group
flight
chat?
information. And I also, I don't
Okay.
know, like the host family. I'm leaving in like 8 days.
Yeah, you know what?
Is the host family, I'm good to stay there?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
This, remember
It's
what
okay,
I told
know.
you?
I know. I just wanted, she just didn't respond. So I was like, am I
Yeah,
getting
no.
picked
Yeah.
up?
This is how
Yeah.
she is, and literally, like, it's all set.
Okay, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to know if I was getting picked up from the airport or not, or if
Yeah.
I needed to organize that.
Yeah, and it could be that it's not arranged until you're actually in flight. And then Gaza will be like, oh my gosh, she's arriving. Okay, go. Pick her up. She's coming in half an hour. But
Okay. But she'll pick me up.
she won't pick you up.
Or she'll
It'll be
have
a
some
driver.
out. There'll be someone there. Okay.
And I'm gonna ask them to have your name with Hinkley Institute.
And my host family knows I'm coming, right?
So, so they may not know yet, but they will. Like again, the culture is she could tell them, oh yeah, and she's coming in 2 hours. Oh yeah, okay, no problem.
3 months.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making sure that I'm not gonna be stranded at the airport.
Oh no, you're not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And right now I have a one-way, so I
You're
can
fine.
book the flight back information. Is that okay on the questionnaire?
Yeah, that's fine. Just make a comment on if you're able to on your submission.
Mm-hmm.
There, you should be able to make a comment. And make a comment and say that you're going to upload it later.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions?
This is how it is in Jordan.
No, I figured it out. I just needed
you
to make
just
sure
have to
that I
roll
was
with it.
going to have
Yep.
transportation. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All the host families that signed up for it, and she said you could either say here, here, here. They're all expecting you.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, we'll take her, and so she gave you the options because they're all available.
Okay.
They may not know yet which one, but you'll be able to stay.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that solves that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Larva?
I'm gonna be the last because I'm gonna take your time.
Okay. Okay.
So everything's booked and good, right?
Yeah.
I'm staying with Dr. GC,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And then it's not a paid internship, right? Or is it
No.
paid?
So it's not paid, but there might be perks.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then my final question was, I tried to sign up for the full 12 credits, but only let me sign up for 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
And what are you? Regular undergraduate, honors, or graduate?
Regular undergraduate.
Regular undergraduate. It should let you sign up for 12. Send me a screenshot of what you're seeing, and you're following the instructions that I sent. Okay. Let's look into that. Okay. Abby.
Hi.
Hi.
So an update about like the credits. I
Yes.
was trying to register for the 6,000, and you said there's not a permission code. So
Yeah.
the only way to do it is if I'm a graduate student.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So I talked to my advisors, and I told them that there's like no possible way to do that. So then I asked if I could do undergraduate credit, and I can, but it won't like work for my degree, but that's okay because it's still such a great opportunity. But
Darn it.
I know, yeah.
And there's no way you can be enrolled as a graduate student for the summer?
Not unless I can take the 6,000 level.
So, I mean, you can, but you need the graduate student status.
Yeah, no, I can't just because I'm a Pell Grant recipient. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't really work that well that way.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm in the hybrid program to get my
Yeah.
undergraduate and graduate.
Yeah.
They're already really strict about it because there are limited credits to take in
Yeah.
the program. So now that I know I'll have to take it for undergraduate credit, I was wondering if the hours are different because I was planning on taking 300 hours. So that's like 25 hours a week for 12 weeks.
So, for undergraduate credit, are you doing just the minimum 3 credits?
I'm doing 6.
You're doing 6, so it's 300 hours.
It's still the same. Okay, perfect. So that was my main question. I talked to my advisor. She was the one who gave me the incorrect information because she wasn't quite understanding, and then she referred me to the director of my program. I met with her this morning, and she said that if you wanted to talk to her about it, you could, but otherwise I'll just have to kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So
Okay.
yeah, but I just wanted to mostly see if I had to change my hours at all.
Yeah, no.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
This was
you're
all
welcome.
helpful. I got my notes so that I can remember them when I
Okay.
get there. So
All right,
so
good.
Much. Good to see you. I was wondering if you needed help because I have a couple minutes to spare, cleaning all this up.
Oh, thank you. I think we're good. If you want to take this back to Nick, that'd be good. All right. And to that, let me. How do I sign log out? I forget.
Is it
home?
Oh, of Canvas.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
is it
go
just
to the profile.